Okay, thanks, Wendy, for uh, doing the welcoming or introduction part for my slide. And I think for those of you who just logged in, um, I would like to introduce myself one more time. So my name is Anna, and I'm currently pursuing PhD and at the same time teaching project management in University of Duisburg-Essen, and that is located in Germany. That is not far from Frankfurt, Köln, Düsseldorf, so in this area. And I moved here 2 years ago from Indonesia. I was born and raised and basically spend most of my times in Jakarta, Indonesia. It's actually located in Southeast Asia, south of Japan, southeast of Thailand, and not far from Singapore. So it's for those of you who don't know where Indonesia is. And yeah, I did my master degree in Japan for 1.5 years. It's also about project management. I love Japan. I love Japanese food. I love Japanese people. I love everything about Japan. But now I'm focusing myself to do my PhD here in Germany. And here is, yeah, things can be pretty much challenging here in Germany due to influx of people coming here. But it's just every day is actually challenge. So I did project management for almost 18 years now, and although I was graduated as an engineer, but I chose IT as my line of interest because I find that doing project management in IT industry is suitable for my passion and my interest. And besides, most of the times the working environment also is quite challenging for a female project manager. And I've seen a lot of people joining in. I'm very happy to share what I learned so far and what I gathered from my knowledge. It's not that I'm actually better than anyone. I'm just trying to share what I know so far, and I'm pretty sure that some of you, or even most of you, would have more of other interesting stories to tell when it comes to this subject. And I also would like to apologize myself from the beginning if my English is not very good, because I'm not a native speaker, and currently I use more German than my English. So, well, whenever you use a certain language for a longer period of time, then your English will probably deteriorate over time. But that's why I have to apologize myself if I don't pronounce the correct words or I don't choose the appropriate words to explain things. But anyway, if you have some questions or you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can simply just ask me at the end of the session, or to me or to Wendy. So I think I could start with my introduction slide. I mean, the topic itself is about project recovery, and since I don't have any idea about the attendees profile, I mean, there are more than 50 people joining, but I'm not sure how many of you have experience, being in a troubled project or even leading a troubled project. So I'm assuming that we all here just share what we know. So so I found an interesting research or survey back in 2011 that 37% projects were at risk, or they were these projects were either recovered or failed. So I think there are other couple of surveys showing the similar numbers from Standish Group or from other like Accenture or for other consulting companies, and they are showing quite a similar figure in terms of project success rate or project failure rate. So it comes to the question is, these projects, the ones who were failed and terminated, they must have come to a certain stage that they are doomed to fail, and before that there must be in a transition from a normal project or a work in progress project to a certain stage that people would think these projects are in trouble before they're coming to the end. So these stage that we are talking about now. So we are not talking about how to lead a successful project. We are not talking about the projects that are failing or failed. We are simply what we're going to share today is how we manage or how do we tackle the project, the ones that are almost failing but not yet failing and have still chances or um, have some bright sense of getting back on track. And these what the topics are about. So some of the tips, some of the strategies, some of the lesson learned, some of the knowledge that I gained from reading and from other resources and from my own experience, I put all together here, and it won't be more than what 15 or 16 slides, because I don't like to have so many slides. I like to keep it simple, and I like to share what I know, and then at the end we have more time to discuss or talk. Well, the other thing is, I recently have a small baby. I have a baby, so I also have to apologize myself if the baby is talk. I mean, she starts to talk a little bit and babbles, so maybe you can hear her as my background sound, which is quite interesting, I would say. Anyway, so let's move on to the next slide. So when we're talking about the troubled project, it's always interesting to find out what are the root causes. What caused a project to have trouble, to have problems, and these are the things that I put based on my observation and my experience. And I'm very sure most of you would probably have other ideas or have other experience, and you probably would like to say, oh, in my case, this is the root cause, this is the main problem. In the other cases will be like this. So this is what I know so far, but this is not limited to this, no? So the root cause of the troubled project would probably either because the schedule is too tight, it's unrealistic, overly optimistic, and these normally due to the fact that the people who estimated the effort are not the one who's doing the project itself. And this happens when the project team is not taking part during the estimation process. For example, the sales team and the pre-sales team, they were the one who's doing the schedule development or effort estimation, and they're not having a kind of real ideas, or they're not having a real experience and not having a real estimating skills for them to have a very realistic schedule. And the other cause could also be a resource problem. It can be a lack of resource. That means the project is too soon to start, or the recruitment process is just too long, or the talent that we are seeking is just too specific. So at the time project starts, we don't have enough resources to do the project, or we have enough resources, but there are some problems internally that cause the conflicts between the team members, or there can be also a leadership problem or like intra team members conflict problem that make people leave the team, and this is basically because of probably poor management, poor leadership. And yeah, so resource problem or schedule problem. And the last three, I would say, they come like after these two problems, now either unidentified risks or some risks that are not properly managed. The requirements, this also will lead to a poor estimation. No? I mean, if you have unclear requirements from your customers simply don't know what they want, and we put so many assumptions at the beginning.